has come to join Cleveland Rape Crisis Center in our fight against rape and sexual abuse. The time is now.
I was getting all stressed out. I wasn't sleeping. So I called the volunteer hotline, and I talked to a volunteer, and I told her I was raped as a little boy, and I might need help, but you guys probably can't help me. And she said, why don't you come on in? I said, well, I'm a guy, and my life is pretty good. She said, why don't you come on in? I said, well, I don't know. It was a long time ago. And she said, why don't you come on in? So I came on in.
The time is now to speak out.
It took a lot of courage and strength to even walk through those doors by myself.
The time is now to listen.
I find that often all they need is for someone to be comforting and to be reassuring and to just simply be there.
The time is now to stop sexual violence before it starts.
We've seen an unprecedented level of attention on sexual violence and injustices towards victims and survivors. But the time is now for us to activate that anger and make change in our community so fewer and fewer people have to suffer from this awful crime.
The time is now for you to get involved. If you see something, say something. The time is now for you to come forward and be an advocate for victims to help in the healing process.
The time is now to stand up and be heard.
I choose to speak out about my experience because I want to give other people hope.
I've learned through this process that I'm a good person. I deserve to be happy, that nothing that happened to me as a little kid was my fault. I've also learned that when I share my story, it helps other victims and survivors come forward and get help.
Cleveland Rape Crisis Center has services available 24/7, 365, and that's not going to change. But as we look to our future, we are pushing for more progress for survivors and better outcomes for our services and our criminal justice systems.
I can't think of another organization that has more impact and is more effective than the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center.
The time is now to begin the healing.
At first, feeling better and feeling good about myself was such an odd, weird feeling that I wasn't used to it. But now I feel fantastic. My life is beautiful today thanks to the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center.
I've been inspired to do great things because of the Cleveland Rape Crisis Center that stood by my side.
There are so many simple things that you can do to get involved, from making a donation to volunteering on the hotline to following us on social media and sharing our messages with your friends. We need all of you to be in this fight against rape and sexual abuse.
The time is now for change.
My whole entire life I wondered why this happened to me, why did I have to suffer so much as a child. All the years of rape and addiction and homelessness, why did it all happen to me? And this is it, right here, right now. This is why it happened. Because I was strong enough to survive it and help the next person come forward and get help.
The time is now to take a stand.
A day doesn't go by without reading headlines about women, men, and children being impacted by sexual violence. We see it more and more every day, which is why we need all of you to engage in our work and be advocates and champions for change. The time is now.